Hey guys, so I am back with a brand new video today, and as you can tell from the title, it's a really exciting video because I've got really exciting news to tell you guys. It's been like a little while since I uploaded a video. That's just because life has just been so hectic and so much has been going on. My biggest life update at the moment is that I'm currently pregnant, which is really exciting. I'm just gonna go like straight into how I found out and all that stuff. So basically, I think the last video I uploaded was of me going to my post-op appointment. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about I think 5 months ago, I had a hysteroscopy DNC done. That was just to remove some fibroids, which was causing me some issues with my monthly cycle. And I found that in my post-op appointment that if those fibroids had not been removed, I wouldn't have been able to like carry a pregnancy even if I conceived. So that would have like really caused me some serious fertility issues. And I'm very thankful that I was able to get that procedure done, and as quickly as I was able to get it done too. So basically in my post-op appointment, my options were to get onto the Marina, I believe, or to just like hold off and see how things go, which I chose to hold off and just let my body settle from the procedure and just see how things go. We decided that whilst I was holding off, we're gonna start trying casually to conceive, and I spoke to my gynecologist about that in my post-op appointment, and she said that we can just like we were gonna start with ovulation tracking and see how I go with that. And I did inform her that I had actually already started ovulation tracking, which is actually so confusing because I tried using the ovulation test that you buy from the shops. I tried doing that for like a month, and that was like so confusing for me. So I was doing the ovulation test in combination with tracking my temperature every morning. Adding the ovulation test in there was just really confusing for me, so I just kind of took that out and I just did the whole temperature tracking every morning. And I felt like that was like a lot less confusing for me, and I could do that and I could keep on top of that. So I informed my gynecologist that I have already started tracking my ovulation through my temperature every morning. So that brings me to how I found out about my pregnancy. So basically, because I'm always tracking my temperature, this 1 week, I think it was after my period ended or before my period was meant to start, I just saw like a huge spike on my temperature, and I just thought that was so weird, just because I already know what my like normal temperature is when I'm not like on my period. And you know, that time of your cycle, your body temperature changes all the time, so I knew what my body temperature was meant to be at that time, and it was very different. It spiked up as though I was on my period, or as though I was about to get on my period. So that was like a bit like, I noticed that, but I didn't freak out too much. I didn't do much about it. I was like, maybe it's just one of those things where it's like a 1 or 2 day thing and then it goes away. But it lasted like a whole week, so I was like, okay, this is kind of like a bit weird. I thought it was far-fetched for me to think that I was pregnant just because we had just started sort of trying and it was just like casual. It wasn't anything serious or anything like that. So I decided that because I had one pregnancy test that came with my ovulation test that I didn't use, so I just thought, okay, let me just try, like, and it was also in the evening, so I was like, I'm definitely not pregnant, and like it would come negative anyway because I'm not trying in the morning. Usually they say to try first thing in the morning, you get the best result. So I was like, I'm definitely gonna get a negative test, like I just know. Anyways, I went and tried. I actually recorded it because I was like, if this is actually me pregnant, this is gonna be wild and this is gonna be crazy. So anyways, I went and like did the pregnancy test in the bathroom, and it literally, I kid you not, literally took less than 5 seconds and it was 2 lines. And I was like, what the heck? I thought I was dreaming because like I did not expect it to happen that fast. And I was like, okay, there's no denying it, I definitely am pregnant. And so I literally just took a pregnancy test, and I'm pregnant. This is crazy. Oh my god, this is so crazy. It literally took less than a minute to come out. This is crazy. I can't believe this. I can't believe I'm gonna be a mom. Yeah, so that's how I found out about my pregnancy. I obviously went to GP and got blood tests done. And whilst I was waiting for blood tests, I took another test with a more reliable test. It's an electronic one, and it also confirmed that I was pregnant, and also the blood test confirmed that I was pregnant. I wrote a few things down on my phone, just stuff I want to talk about, just because I forget really easily. On my first trimester, it was both good and stressful at the same time. My first 7 weeks of pregnancy, it was like smooth sailing, except for like a few things. Like I had like quite a bit of anxiety, like it just, so I usually get like anxiety here and there when I'm about to get my period and stuff like that, but this one just kind of like skyrocketed to something else, and I was really struggling. But other than that, like I guess it was because of the hormones and everything that was causing my body to just go a bit like haywire, I guess. But other than that, I had a bit of a food aversion, yeah, so that as well, but it wasn't like intense or anything like that. And also I had like a weird taste in my mouth. I had weird sensation in my mouth, so it's like my tongue became like a lot more sensitive to textures of foods and all that. So there was a lot of food that when I eat it, it tasted differently to how it tasted before I was pregnant. So I guess I just became a lot more sensitive to food textures. Like I remember this was after my 7 weeks mark. I went to Macca's to get like a Big Mac, and I usually, like when I'm craving Big Mac, I usually enjoy it when I eat it. And this time when I got it, it tasted like cardboard. The actual patty itself tasted like cardboard, and I couldn't enjoy it at all. So that's sort of how my tongue sort of was like. And in the morning as well, when I wake up, this was like the first 7 weeks. In the morning when I wake up, I feel like I have tasted something like cardboard sort of. That's the closest I can describe to my tongue feeling like. And nothing helps. Even if I brush my teeth, like nothing helps. It just like continued that way. But it kind of like subsided a little bit. On my 7th week, things just kind of went a bit left, and I also got the flu. So it was like an upper respiratory infection. So I got like sore throat, like really terrible sore throat, where if I eat anything like slightly spicy, it would burn my throat. And I've had sore throats before, but nothing as bad as that. So I had that. I recovered from it. I had it for like I think 2 weeks, which was like really long. I never get flus that long. It's usually like just a couple of days to a week. Mind you, I had no idea that pregnancy can prolong like symptoms if you are like, if you've got the flu or if you're sick, which was my bad. So I found out later on that a lot of pregnant people tend to get the flu shot before they get pregnant, just because like the pregnancy depletes your immune system. So that was like something I found out later on. Anyway, so I during like after week 7 up until like week 12 or so, or week 11, like it was just, I was just sick, like back to back sick. So the rest of my first trimester was just like downhill. Like I was just like always in bed. So I got the upper respiratory infection twice. Sometimes I couldn't breathe. I had to go to the emergency over and over again, because like obviously this is my first pregnancy, and like I didn't know what to expect. And Google doesn't help either, because like you Google something and you'll be like, oh, the flu affects the baby, like it makes the baby come, you know, something bad happens to the baby. So everything I read freaks me out. So I frequented the emergency room quite a bit during that time. And I was also put on an inhaler because I couldn't breathe at night. So it was quite like scary at that time. Other than that though, the only other, I guess, pregnancy symptom I had was like the food aversion. Like I couldn't eat a lot of things. I could only eat soups, like Wuton soups, and I could only eat like dumplings, just something with really soft meat. And I could only eat like white bread as well. Those are the only things I could eat. Everything else, like I was like, nope, I don't want it. My body didn't want it. And also the smell of certain things and the sight of certain things make me really nauseous. I never really throw up. I was just always nauseous. I always felt like I was sick. And then after that mark, I actually got the flu shot because like I literally couldn't do it anymore. Like the last flu that I got, it was actually so bad. I was feverish, I was shivering, and I was also throwing up. That was the only time I threw up in my first trimester, and it was just so bad. So after that, I went to go see my GP a few times, and she was like, oh, you kind of have to wait for the new dose of flu shots to come out because those are the new, yeah, I think the new strain or the new dose, because she's like those would be more effective. But I was just like so done with being sick. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna go get it. And usually when you're pregnant, you usually get the flu shots for free when you go through like your GP or your midwife. But it meant that I had to wait 2 months or 3 months. And I was like, I can't be sick for 2 or 3 more months and I can't handle it anymore. So I just went to a place where I like paid for it, and it wasn't really that expensive. So I paid for it, got the flu shot. I actually thought I was gonna get sick from the flu shot because they told me just wait till you don't have any more fevers and you're feeling fine, because the flu shot could actually make you sick as well. But when I got the flu shot, I wasn't sick at all from it, and after that I was like just fine. Like up until now, I haven't gotten any like flu symptoms. Also, another symptom I had during my first trimester was I was so bloated. Like it was just crazy. I thought I was like showing too early. I thought I was gonna be so big. I was like, oh my gosh, if I'm showing this much in the first trimester, how am I gonna handle it? And obviously the stuff that I read on Google as well, they're like, oh, you know, you don't show until like second trimester. And I was just like feeling massive and tight and heavy at that time. But a lot of people said I wasn't showing at all, but I felt like heavy. I felt like full all the time. So a lot of bloating during the first trimester, which kind of wasn't fun. So another symptom I had during my first trimester was I was really fatigued. Like I could not stand up for like long. I was also really dizzy, and I literally just slept most of the time. Like I was just like, I would walk out the door and then come back in and I would need a nap, pretty much. That's how fatigued I was, and I was just like sleeping at odd hours in the day. I'm usually a napper generally. I usually nap, but like this was just like next level. But I wasn't complaining about that. I think the only thing that bothered me was like the flu, the bloating, and the obvious anxiety and the fatigue. But being able to sleep and all that stuff like didn't bother me too much. It's just a lot of stuff to settle in with your body. You just feel like your body is like going crazy on you and it's going against you a little bit. I know other people have it far worse. For me, I guess the only thing was like my hormones settling down, and that was pretty much it, because like I know a lot of people are like really sick, throwing up and all that stuff, which I'm glad I didn't get that. But like yeah, so basically what happened when I'm just gonna backtrack a little bit as well. When I did my blood test, my GP kind of just predicted my due date from the first day of my last period. Thankfully, I tracked my period all the time, so they were able to predict the day. And then I was given a referral to do a dating scan, which you can do from, I think you can do a dating scan from 11 weeks, I think. So I was given a referral to go do a dating scan. Also, during my first trimester, I had a bit of a scare as well, where I had to go to the emergency room. So they had to check baby's heartbeat and everything. But it like literally, the heartbeat just showed up immediately, and they were like, yeah. So I kind of just had to keep an eye. Anyway, so on my dating scan, like the same thing happened. The guy that was doing the ultrasound, he was like, because it's so early on, the baby might not show up quite easily. And literally as soon as they put the ultrasound thing on my belly, we saw a heartbeat. The baby was so easy to find, and we saw the baby and everything, which was really exciting. That's when we found out the exact date, the exact estimated due date. and also how far along the baby was, so we were able to like, yeah, get a more accurate information of how far along I was. Also, like, I noticed that because like when I found out I was pregnant, I thought like you're gonna have to have like a lot of doctor's appointment, you're gonna have to have like a lot of scans every week. There's so much stuff that's going on. Honestly, I was like really shocked at how like laid back all medical people were. Don't get me wrong, they like, obviously when I went to emergency and all that stuff, they did like, they did really well with like, you know, looking after me and all that stuff. But like in general, like say for example with my GP, like I only saw her like probably 3 times during my first trimester or less. Like, so I thought I'll be seeing them like every week or every second week, like just to keep track on baby. And no, they literally, most of the time it's like you're not pregnant until after you pass your, I felt like I wasn't treated like I was pregnant until I was past my first trimester. That's when I felt like all of the exciting pregnancy stuff was happening, like midwife appointments and like tests and all that stuff. Other than like the blood test to confirm, there was no other like test that was done. Like also when I did my blood test, they did like a whole like STI test, like they did like blood work on everything to check all my levels and all that, and thankfully everything came back perfect. Everything came back really good, so that was like less thing to worry about. But in general, I just felt like, for lack of a better word, like my pregnancy wasn't taken as a pregnancy until after I was past a certain point. And like I just wasn't expecting that. I'm guessing that's normally how things happen, but I just thought it would have happened completely differently. But not complaining, just like stating that that's kind of like what I experienced in Australia, in New South Wales. But yeah, let me know if like it was different for you. Let me know if like there was a bit, if you, because my pregnancy is low risk at the moment, let me know if you have like a low risk pregnancy and during the first trimester not much was done. Like it was just like kind of looking at the pregnancy to see how like it goes. At the moment I haven't found that baby's gender yet. I'm due to find out in a couple of weeks, which I'm really excited about. I obviously want to know as soon as I can, just because I haven't been able to buy much stuff for the baby yet, just because I don't want to buy like the wrong stuff. Also, when you go to the shops, there's usually like never a gender neutral stuff. It's either like specifically made for boys or specifically made for girls. So there's a few things that you can buy, but like other than that there isn't really much that you can buy. I'm a bit apprehensive about buying anything, just so that I don't regret what I'm buying. So I'd rather like wait until I know the gender of the baby, and then I can like rest assured that I'm definitely buying for a boy or I'm definitely buying for a girl. So I can't wait till then. At the moment I'm in my second trimester, which is really exciting because like I feel a lot more like myself again. I feel a bit more normal. A lot of things are a lot more settled. On my body wise, like the changes that I saw on my body was just like literally my boobs just grew 2 cup sizes or more, and it hasn't gone down ever since the first week I found out I was pregnant. Like my boob size has just been the exact same, which I don't mind. I'm not complaining. I love boobs anyway, so like for me it's a win-win. Also like I just feel like I'm so swollen and I'm so big, but a lot of people are like, no you're not, you're fine, like you're just like super skinny with like a bump. And I'm like, okay, like I feel like maybe my brain is just playing games on me, just because naturally I am a petite person. So like yeah, in my head I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, you know, it's happening now. I'm anticipating the time that like I just, yeah, blow up. But anyways, so that's pretty much it for my first trimester. I also wanted to do something like funny just to see what you guys would think. So I'm not going to tell you guys how far along I am yet, but I'm going to tell you guys what size fruit the baby is. And if you want, you can guess in the comment section how far along I am, and also some symptoms that I'm having, so you can guess how far along I am. So currently the baby is the size of a pomegranate, and I am currently like really gassy. like burping all the time, and like, yeah, at the moment I haven't got any like major food cravings. My appetite has just gone to normal, like pre-pregnancy appetite, so I'm eating everything normal again. Like, I'm not like craving anything or wanting to eat like a lot more food than I was eating before. I was eating a lot previously anyway, so like not much has changed, but I haven't noticed wanting to eat a lot more than actually I'm eating. I'm gonna do like a quick bump reveal. So this is what my belly looks like. I feel like I'm a lot smaller today. I'm showing a lot smaller because usually, like, I swear the belly changes all the time. But yeah, this is what my bump looks like. So, and that's what it looks like from the front. You can barely see anything in the front, but that's what it looks like on the side. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next video to come. Thank you. Bye.